Is celebrity beyond worth the hype? We're here to discuss.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Samara. Welcome to our channel. Is celebrity worth the hype? I don't know. We'll let you decide. But in this video, we're going to go through all the different aspects of the ship. We're going to go through our experience and what we liked and what we didn't like.
If you love travel, but especially cruising, this is the channel for you. So go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more future content. We are avid cruisers, and we've been cruising for about a little over 10 years. And our preferred cruise line used to be Carnival. And so we decided to go ahead and try out Celebrity to see if it's worth the hype. For anyone who does not know, Celebrity is considered a premium cruise line, a little bit of an elevated experience. And the Celebrity Beyond is an Edge class ship, roughly about 140,000 gross tonnage, which is a pretty decent size. And I've been on roughly 12 or 13 cruises, and the Beyond is the most beautiful ship I've ever seen.
Now let's talk about embarkation. The embarkation process was extremely smooth. We had no wait. From the moment we got out of the shuttle until we boarded the ship, it was maybe 10 minutes total. We expected once we got through security and everything to have to wait, because usually on other cruise lines, it's usually a little bit of a wait until your arrival time, but no, they didn't make us wait at all, because everything is on your phone with Celebrity. You don't have to worry about having a boarding pass, paper, walking around trying to keep up with that or anything. So we were able to just basically board the ship, they scanned everything on our app on our phone. We were getting ready to sit down and they were waving us to come on through so we can board the ship. So that was a pleasant surprise. Once we got aboard the ship, the muster drill was super quick and easy.
Almost too easy.
We also watched a video before we boarded the ship, because that morning they have you on the app. They tell you to watch the muster drill video. So then that way, once you get on the ship, all you have to do is just check in with your station. After we did the muster drill, we were able to go straight to our room, which was really nice. We had access to our room before 1:30. Even though technically the rooms are not completed until 1:30, they still allow you to go to your room, drop your bags off or whatever. So that way you don't have to carry those around. You can go upstairs, with more free hands and arms and shoulders as you eat your lunch and enjoy and explore the ship.
From the minute you get out of your shuttle to the moment you walk onto the ship, no time at all. Well, there was one time that it took over 3 hours, but that's a whole nother story that we'll get into another video. And another thing I think I enjoyed about the embarkation process for Celebrity is the terminal itself is beautiful. I'm a designer, and so I'm always paying a lot of attention to how things are laid out in design.
It definitely changes the experience once you board the ship. It like prepares you for what type of experience that's going to welcome you on board.
After embarkation, the next thing that anyone who's ever been on a cruise, the next thing we know to do after we've gotten on the ship, food.
Yes, the food.
Food. We all know food is the most important part of vacation. And from being an avid cruiser, Celebrity Beyond had one of the best buffets I've ever seen. And I've also been on other Celebrity cruises, which are also good, but the Beyond was a pretty elevated experience. As far as taste goes in the cafe, I come into the situation understanding that cruise lines are not going to cook like my grandmother or my mother, but it was pretty good still, even without that lens. So it was very enjoyable.
It just made you feel like this is why it's premium, right?
Right.
So just to add to the original question, is it worth the hype? You can see the little small things that they do, like just giving you more varieties, the more open space. Like it just felt wider and brighter in there than I've experienced on other cruise lines. Yeah. Very welcoming. I thought it was really funny how the desserts almost greet you first.
Of course they do.
They have bars on both sides of the buffet. I had no qualms at all with the buffet. And usually for dinner, I try to avoid the buffet on most cruise lines because you want to experience the sit down dining experiences and things. But sometimes we went to the buffet before we went and sat down to eat dinner, or instead of.
Yeah, just to check it out, see what's going on.
Just to see what type of foods they have. We went to 2 of the 4 included or complimentary dining rooms. So on Celebrity, they do something a little different where they have 4 sit-down main dining rooms. Cosmopolitan, which is the American style, Tuscan, which is the Italian style, Cyprus, which is more like a Mediterranean, and then Normandy, which is the French style cuisine. So we didn't try all 4, but we did go to Cosmopolitan and Tuscan, and we enjoyed them both.
Pretty decent.
The decor in there was very inviting, was very nice. I love the Tuscan had like a black and white kind of like feel to it. Cosmopolitan felt more like relaxed, but it still felt elevated, more like a traditional main dining room on most cruise ships. So we enjoyed it, and because we had anytime dining, we got a chance to just check in whenever we were ready for dinner. Got seated right away. Had an amazing service. In addition to the main dining room, Celebrity also does specialty dining options as well. Specialty dining options they have are the Fine Cook Steakhouse, Raw on 5, which is like a sushi spot, the Magic Carpet, which is like its own like little restaurant / bar. It's on the side of the ship and it goes up and down to different floors throughout your cruise. The Rooftop Garden Grill. They have something called Eden, which is like more like a vegan style, but it's set in like what looks like the Garden of Eden.
Garden of Eden is beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. And then they also have the Le Grand Bistro, and inside the Le Grand Bistro they have a restaurant within a restaurant which is called Le Petit Chef, and that was the one that we experienced, and it was an amazing experience. We enjoyed the it's like an interactive French style sit down experience. Your plate has a projector screen above it in the ceiling, and then it does different type of animations and videos about this little petite chef and how he became a chef and how he makes all his different dishes.
Pretty funny too.
And it's entertaining. It's exciting. At the end, you get like a little certificate that says I'm a super chef, so you feel super certified chef or whatever. And it was just really cool. I think kids would love it. I think adults of all ages will love it. It's something it's worth the money.
It's
and
definitely a great experience.
It's just something fun. It's something different. I've never done a cruise ship before, so I definitely would do it again. For our retreat and aqua class guests, they have special restaurants just for you. One of them is called Luminé at the retreat, and the other one is called Blue for the aqua class guests. They also have late night options, of course, the pizza, room service. So those late night times when you're really, really hungry and you don't know what to go, you can order room service. You can go to the pizza spot. I don't know if it's open 24 hours, but it was pretty good. I didn't complain about it at all.
The pizza it has to be on par because it's something that's usually open most of the time when everything else isn't. Yeah. But Celebrity's pizza was top notch to me.
It was really
my
good.
wife maybe can say something different, but
no, I
thoroughly enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it, and I also enjoyed that it was never lines. Like
it was never a long line.
Like on other cruise lines, I feel like I have to wait in a longer because that's like the only thing that's open. It was times we literally got a slice of pizza, sat down, watched them put another one out, and got another one fresh. And
we went over there different times of the day and on different days, and we never saw a long line.
Yeah. In addition to that, they also had dessert options. They had the ice cream and gelato station, which is not really a self-serve, but it's like you tell them what you want, they put it in a cup or a cone for you. And then they also had something called Cafe Al Bacio, and that was on deck 5.
Clutch.
And it's a cafe, so it has like it has complimentary desserts, but you can also order like specialty drinks like teas and coffees, like kind of like a barista.
But the best part, they have on the side of here, they have like this glass case with a bunch of different desserts.
The complimentary desserts.
They have like pound cakes, lemon cookies, and all kind of things. They have like jars of cookies on top of it, complimentary. And anytime we're walking past on the way to a show or on the way somewhere else, I would just grab a piece of pound cake or cookies just because I could. Yeah.
And then for during morning hours, they have different type of like pastries and like danishes and different type of pastries, like morning pastries and whatever, donuts and things. And I didn't taste anything that I really didn't enjoy. It's like a nice quick snack you can grab while you're waiting for something to happen in like the atrium or something like that.
Another aspect of the vacation that people really like to enjoy is the entertainment. Mm-hmm. This is very important for the people who've been on other cruise lines that has hesitancies regarding Celebrity. They want to know if Celebrity have enough to do that you can enjoy yourself and be young. I would say even though the cruise line isn't focused on family and children, it does have things to do they had plenty of cruise favorites like karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
They had comedy shows, production shows, bingo, trivia, and also little games like beanbag toss. They also had
Pickleball tournaments. They did
movie nights.
Yeah, movie nights. And because we went during the time of the Olympics, they made sure on all the TVs you had
Olympics were playing.
They definitely made sure that we was able to watch the Olympics opening ceremony, and they also did it like upstairs on like the big on a big screen where like the rooftop garden is. But also one thing I thought was really interesting and creative was what they did, like how they implemented the crew into our entertainment. They did a crew versus guest volleyball game in the pool. They did a pool Olympics. So and then they also on the last night they played like a game show with 3 people who actually work on the ship: the cruise director, the captain of the ship,
the captain played,
as well as a lady, I think she was from HR, and they played a really funny game. You had to figure out who was lying and who was telling the truth about random words they made up.
Wild story.
And it was different, and it was entertaining, and it was also cool to see, because when you think about a captain of it, like the cruise director, you're used to them being an entertainer. But when you see someone who's working in like the back office kind of a space, like an HR person, or seeing like the captain, you just assume he's going to be serious all the time because he's in command of the ship, right? But this guy felt it made you feel like when you saw him in the hallway, he was approachable.
He was on vacation,
and then also help you remember what he looks like. So when you saw him, you was like, "That's the captain. Hey, captain, I remember when I saw you on that." And and then it creates this more like I don't want to say family, but it made you feel more like this. It kind of did make it feel less, like, more fun, I guess is the best.
Yes. Another part of the entertainment that we really enjoyed was the theater.
Mm-hmm.
The theater was amazing. Once again, I love creativity. Mm-hmm. And this theater was beautiful. They had this huge wraparound LED screen that ran around the back as performers were, doing their things, or we had a magician.
Yeah.
And the LED screens really brought the show to life.
Mm-hmm. But also in the theater, we also had regular production shows like you see on traditional cruise lines, or whatever, the traditional production shows. But they were really good. They were entertaining. And like he said, with the LED screen, it just elevated
the experience.
Which is another reason why it's a premium cruise line. It was like those little small things just gave you a different version of what you already enjoyed. And then, like you said, the magic show, that was very unique and different. They had live music playing all over the ship, in the atrium, in the different restaurants, like in the in the Eden restaurant, they would have live music. They did live music in the theater, in the club. They played. So it just was really cool. And I also like how, because they have a theater and a club, the club, they kind of work interchangeably. Like, you can see a magic show in the theater, but you can also see a similar version of that in the club. You can also play trivia in the club.
Another thing I like to point out is that the playlist, whoever's in charge of Celebrity's playlist needs a raise.
Yeah.
The playlist was on point. Like, in the cafe, all around the ship, the playlist was
just hearing music. Yeah.
I mean, to a point, I was like, I don't need to do anything. Just this playlist was bang, like, it was hit after hit.
Yeah, so like in the little areas where you don't have the live music, quote unquote, like maybe in a cafe or something where you don't hear the live music, they would literally just have an overhead speaker just playing different radio hits.
And when I say hits, I'm talking 90s, 2000s, R&B,
and that was a pleasant surprise too, because
it was nice.
I kind of assumed the demographic was more of a mature demographic. Mm-hmm. So I was very surprised to hear music that was from more of my generation and our era. And even like our demographic. Like in the atrium, we had silent disco and stuff like that. The bartenders in that main atrium bar, they're always entertaining you. They're doing shows where they're throwing things in the air.
Popping cups off your head.
Yeah, and like doing like specialty pour items and things like that. Which was really cool to watch. They have something for the kids called Camp at Sea. We didn't bring our kids on this cruise, so we didn't get a chance to really experience it. But we know it's there. So if we ever decide to take our kids, we know we have that option, which is also nice. you still want to have sometimes that break, and the kids need a break from you just like you need a break from them. So them being able to interact with kids their own age for a little bit and doing things that's catered directly to them, I think is really important.
Another part of entertainment that a lot of people, everyone doesn't participate, but they do also have a casino.
Mm-hmm.
And just for you all who may not know, if depending on if you set aside a certain budget to gamble on vacation, they are very transparent. Celebrity is very transparent with their process. Really they basically let you know, if you get this amount of points based on however many dollars you play or whatever, you can get a free interior room or free balcony room or free whatever. And to be honest, this cruise that we were on was a comp room from the casino. Mm-hmm. And so if you choose to allocate a certain amount of money for the casino as part of your entertainment, there is also a reward for that, depending on how much you win or how much you spend. So just keep that in mind as well, because if you do well enough and you make enough points, you could get multiple free offers, as I have before. Now, to talk about your home away from home, staterooms. Staterooms are your room on the ship, which in our case, it was an interior Commodore free room. But I think we had a deluxe interior, which is larger than a normal interior. And from our perspective, we don't spend much time in our room. A lot of times we are just relaxing there or sleeping or getting dressed or showering. Other than that, we're usually somewhere on the ship enjoying ourselves. So to us, the stateroom isn't always that big a deal, but to someone else, it may be.
And I just want to point out, like, sometimes how well you enjoy the ship is based on what type of room you had, and how your experience was with your room, even though you don't spend much time there. In our experience, like you said, like we have always been more of a budget conscious type of traveler, especially with cruising. So up until maybe like the last year or so, we've only ever had interior rooms. And then we started taking our children and things like that. So then we elevated to more of an ocean view for like the more of the space in the room, of course. But and then one time we went
Virgin, we had a balcony.
On Virgin Voyages, we did the balcony because they're known for their amazing balconies. And while I love all those options, sometimes I have no issue, going, like, I don't want to say downgrade, but just using the interior as an option. And like I said, we had a deluxe interior room. It was very spacious. I was very pleased with it. It had the little couch in there. I feel like we had room to walk around. We had room to shower in the bathroom, and everything was a really nice size. We had a lot of like little cabinets and little like doors to store your things. Like, it was like storage I didn't even know was there until like the last, like, I didn't even know this was here. And so like, the last day, it was like little hidden nooks and crannies that you can store things in. Our attendant was amazing. He came twice a day. I thought that was cool because since COVID, you all who have been cruising know that on a lot of other cruise lines, the attendants, they ask you wants to come in the morning, the afternoon, or in the evening, because they only gonna come one time, and so you gotta pick a time, and then that's the time you stuck with. And so the fact that he didn't ask us, I was like, okay. And then we went to breakfast, came back, he cleaned. We went to dinner, came back, he cleaned again, almost like a turn down service.
Literally, like, you go out your
chocolates
room and
on your bed.
He had already cleaned the room.
Yeah, it was really, and he was really, really nice and friendly. Like, and it was just nice because I remember that was one of the reasons I enjoyed cruising early on when we first started, was because you felt like it's always nice to come back to a refreshed, clean room. That might seem very little to someone else, but I love those little things elevate once again and give you more of a premium experience. I love the app on the phone. Our apps on our phones, it has so much technology in these Edge class ships. And so similar to like Virgin, you can control your temperature, control your television, control the lighting. And those things just make you feel a little bit more lazy. And you can just, if I want to turn the light on, I can, instead of just having to get up or change the temperature or do something with, if I'm not looking for the remote or anything, I can do it from my phone. That's a nice feature.
They have buttons to just set the mood.
Yeah, like morning light, evening light, movie light. Like, you just pick one and then you just sit with it. So I thought that was pretty cool. So, and then also, I know this is not really a stateroom thing, but it kind of goes in the same category. The internet was really nice too. They use Starlink. And so I can definitely tell it's a premium internet.
It worked pretty decently.
And then I was able to text on it. I was able to I don't know if I could make any real phone calls, but I still, because I just did like the basic one where you get like the video chat, the streaming for like social media and stuff like that.
The other thing that we did experience, of course, was the locations we actually traveled to, the different ports. For this particular cruise, we went to Cozumel, Mexico, of course, Georgetown, Grand Cayman, which is Grand Cayman Island. And then we also visit Bimini, Bahamas. I think in my experience, the difference in visiting this port, aside from other cruise lines I've been on, is as once again, is the elevated experience. First of all, the area where you get off the ship, usually on other ships, it just look industrial. You have pipes and, you know, wires and stuff everywhere. But this place was beautiful. Like,
it's called Destination Gangway.
It looks like something out of a movie, but it's very beautiful. And the process to get on and off was pretty smooth. We didn't have any hiccups there. But the thing that really made it an elevated experience is when you get off the ship, they usually have the staff with like rolled up towels with ice to like cool you off. And once again, lemon infused and lime infused water and cucumber water to make you feel like it's a little more, you know, a little more elevated than a normal experience. So that does make you feel like, I mean, it make you feel a little, you know, a little elitist, but it was a very, it was a great experience and made you feel like that they were paying attention to the details. Sometimes
you forget how much those things matter too until you experience it. Like you get off, because at first I was like, I wasn't going to take one. And I don't think I did. I don't know why, but I was like,
I didn't want to feel bougie at first. I was like, nah, man, let me get one.
And then on the way back, I think I was like, you know what? I'm hot. And this is, especially when we got off in Grand Cayman and we got back on the tender, and you're like, sometimes you're on the tender, that sun is beaming down on you, whatever. So having that cold
towel
around your neck can definitely help. We booked an excursion through Celebrity. We did an ATV and beach excursion. It went very smoothly. Everything was cool. It was fun. It was our first time doing ATVs. And I enjoyed it. Definitely do it again. In Grand Cayman, we just hung out on the beach. We just got to ride to the beach day. Nothing too extreme.
Best jerk chicken.
We did have the best jerk chicken on that beach. It was really good.
7 Mile Beach. Find you some jerk chicken.
And the guy was very helpful. He went and got it for us and brought it back. We didn't have to really move from our chairs. And they also we got 2 chairs and the umbrella for $25 for the whole day.
You need that chair and the umbrella because that sand is hot.
Once again, I wasn't gonna take it.
Scorching. At first, knowing me, because I'd be like, no, man, we don't need that. That sand is scorching hot. So to have a chair but also an umbrella, it definitely helped.
And we went in July, so it was definitely really hot. And then in Bimini, we just kind of explored. We had went there one time before with Virgin when we did the beach club, so we didn't really feel a need to do that again. We just kind of explored the rest of Bimini.
Walk around the hotel,
the whole hotel and casino at Resorts World, and then that little area where the golf carts are. We walked around there because they have like little shops. So you can tell it's still developing. Yeah. So hopefully the next year or two, they get much
really elevate
that more, because the island is really beautiful. It's just the beaches and everything is really pretty. It's in this developing stage.
One thing I would say too, if you want to just go to a beach when you get off in Bimini, the beach is not too far where you get off the ship, so you don't necessarily have to wait for a tram, because that line for the tram was like 30-45 minutes long. It was a while. But if you're not going somewhere far, just walk to the beach. It's not too far. It's like a 5-minute walk.
Yeah.
But other than that, like if you're going to the beach club or the resort or something, you'll definitely need a tram.
It's recommended to just take the tram, because that walk can be a little bit further for sure.
You can also take the tram to the area where you can rent a golf cart and drive yourself.
Yeah, and you can drive around and explore on your own.
And as Tony Stark would say, a part of the journey is the end. Debarkation. The saddest day of any cruise is on the last day. For all of us who've been cruising before, the last day in the hallways, you see all the luggages lined up for them to take back. It is one of the saddest parts of any vacation, is coming to the realization you have to say goodbye. But the debarkation process is just as smooth as the embarkation process.
The part that sometimes where the hang up happens It's actually exiting the ship, because
Yes.
sometimes you have those lines because some people, like, we are carry off people. We don't put our luggage outside the night before. We just walk off with our luggage because it's just faster. It's easier. The hardest part is just maybe getting that luggage down the stairs. The elevator, wait times, everybody's standing there, and then when the door opens, you either are praying that it's room for you to board, or you open the door and it's a full elevator and you like wait for the next one.
A good tip for Debarkation Day, when you have to get off the ship and you have to wait on the elevator, even if you're trying to go down or up, if an elevator opens, get on it and just take the ride and then get off where you need to, because if not, it can be a long wait.
We waited a little bit on our floor. We was on deck 14. Was it 12 or 14?
12. I think, I don't know. 12.
We were on deck 12. Yeah, the food was on 14. We were on deck 12. We were on deck 12, and I think we had to get down to deck 5.
Yes.
Or so. And so we waited maybe about five minutes or so for an elevator, but I think I don't know if we just chose a good time, but once we got the elevator, we literally just walked right. Like, we waited for a little bit in the line and we walked right back, like walked right off.
For anyone who hasn't been on a cruise yet, the debarkation process is smooth, given you have 3,000 or 4,000 people getting off.
Exactly.
Don't expect it to be like
you're the only person,
or something like that.
Like, you're the only person.
Yeah, there's still 3,000 or 4,000 people that they have to do security checks and things with. So it's give that sense of grace, but it's pretty smooth in general.
And you're back stateside.
Yeah, and you have your bags with you, and you're back on U.S. soil. Your phone, you can call people now, let everybody know you're all right, you survived. And then we've had prearranged transportation shuttle back to the airport. And so usually the minute we get off the ship and we get out, through security, we just call the company and say, hey, we're here. And they'll let us know whether they're already sitting there or they're on their way to pick us up and take us to the airport. Yeah. So we asked the question, is celebrity worth the hype? And overall, I'll speak for myself. I definitely think it is, if that is the type of vacation you want. I think in anything, you have to decide how you want to do it, how you want to vacation. And if you like the elevated experience, if you like the little cold towels in your neck, or you like feeling a little more, nurtured in your vacation, I definitely think it's definitely worth it. Definitely have enough for you to do. Also enough time for you to relax. So given the food, the entertainment, the staterooms, the embarkation and debarkation process, I definitely think celebrity is worth it.
I agree. I think it's definitely worth the hype. I didn't have a whole lot of expectations going in, because I was under the impression it was going to be kind of like a mild ship, as far as, especially when it came to entertainment. I was expecting it to be elevated food experiences. I was expecting the rooms to be on a higher level. I was expecting it to be a beautiful ship that was like elegantly decorated and all those type of things. But the entertainment is really where I had my most concerns, because I just wasn't sure if it was going to be enough entertainment in comparison to other cruise lines I've been on. And I was pleasantly surprised. I had a lot of experiences I've never had before on a cruise ship. I had a lot of times I just was enamored and encaptured into the moment where I was upset because we had to leave something early because of a dinner reservation or something like that. And it was sometimes I was like, I don't know which option to choose, because two things I wanted to do were happening at the same time. So overall, I was pleasantly surprised. I would definitely do it again. I'm not sure how much my children would enjoy it, because the entertainment for little kids, I think, is a little bit lacking, but I realize that's not their key demographic. But if the camp at sea goes well, or if we're going to ports that were more catered to kids and things like that, I'll definitely give it a try just to see how they do. I would definitely do it again. And I think it's definitely worth the hype. I think it's definitely worth the premium elevated price. And I think you all should give it a try. So speaking of give it a try, guess what? I'm your girl for the job. In addition to us being avid cruisers, I am also a travel advisor. And you can find me at creativedreamvacations.com. I'll leave a link in the description below.
If you found this video helpful, or even if you were inspired to travel, please like, but also subscribe for future content. But also, if you have any ideas about anything you would like to know, any cruise ships that you would like to be reviewed, comment down below. We can get to it. Once again, we thank you for joining us. And remember, dream big,
work hard, and achieve great things.